I'm Christian Karasevich, and on this DIY design tutorial from Easil, I'm going to show you my process for creating professional quality live video overlays for Streamyard. So video overlays are a fantastic way for you to increase the production value of your live videos. Now, fortunately, Easil makes it really simple and really easy to do. So before we get started, be sure you click the subscribe button and the notification bell so you get notified when we publish new videos on the Easil channel. Let's get started. So these are the video overlays that we're going to create for Streamyard. I'm in the Streamyard dashboard here, and we're going to start with the intro template or the pre-roll. Now next, we're going to make a countdown timer. However, you don't necessarily need to use this one within Streamyard because they don't have a countdown timer functionality. This works great if you use tools such as Ecamm Live. Now, if you have different segments of your show, for example, you may want to create topic overlays. For example, this is an interview one. This would be a tutorial or maybe an unboxing one. Now, in addition to this, if you're ever going to bring on guests or it's just going to be you on your live video stream in Streamyard, you can create a lower third. For example, this is one that would situate on the left, and we have one on the right as well. Now, one thing I want to show you real quick is I'm going to bring myself on camera. And so as you can see here, we have the overlay and then we have the video playing behind it. So that's what the left and the right overlays are going to be like. Now, in addition to this, if you do have another guest, maybe you have a co-host, for example, you also want to create a split screen. Now, obviously here, I'm only bringing up myself because I'm the only person on my stream. However, if you do want to bring up two people, you basically just bring the videos into Streamyard and then you switch to the layout where it will have the two videos being brought in. So this would be myself and a guest on the right. Now, if you have three people, same exact thing, you would create a third box here as well. And these are transparent, by the way, and I'll show you how to create those within Easil. And then the last thing you're going to want to create for your video overlays is the end screen. And this is very simple, but look at how professional this looks. So it's basically wrapping up your show. And this is a great screen to create because within Streamyard, for example, if you're finished and you want to end your broadcast, if you go click on the end broadcast option, oftentimes there may be a delay because you are on the internet. And so when you click the end screen, it's going to give you time to let your broadcast finish, and you're not going to have to mug for the camera or hold that pose. So let's go ahead and show you how you go about doing this. So you've seen the various types of video overlays that you can bring into Streamyard to enhance your live videos. Now what I want to do is show you how easy it is to create custom branded live streaming overlays within Easil. So here I'm in my workspace. Now the first thing I want to do is I'm going to go to the brand section and I want to add an image that I'm going to bring into my project. Now, the reason I do this beforehand is because Easil will pick up the colors that you have in your image, and you can easily select those colors when you're making your overlays. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to add, for example, this logo. So I'm going to put this in the images section because I'm going to bring this in. And now what I'm going to do is click on Create Design. In the search box, I'm going to put in Live Show Overlay. And the reason I'm doing this is because Easil has already made a number of live show overlay themes available to you. For example, we have all of these different options that you can use when making your video overlays for Streamyard. For this tutorial, we're going to work with the teal red geometric theme. So here I have my project within Easil, And as you can see, the ones we talked about earlier, we have the intro or the pre-roll template. We also have the countdown timer. We have the topic or theme if you want. In addition to that, we have the left lower third. We have the right lower third. We have the split screen. And we have the end screen. Now, anything, by the way, that has this checkerboard pattern, you want to pay attention to this. So this is important because if you want to bring your overlay on top of your video feed in Streamyard, you want to make sure this is transparent, and that's what the checkerboard actually means. So it means that if you bring up your video, you'll have the lower third that will come up over top of it. If you bring up a 2-person feed in Streamyard, you will have both people in the boxes. So let's go about customizing this particular design. So now keep in mind, you can single click on an item to select it. If you need to edit the text, you simply just double click. So we're going to make a few edits here, and then we're going to publish our live video overlays and bring them into Streamyard. So as you can see, if I need to make some adjustments to the text that is here, maybe I need a little space between them, I can simply select the box, go to the text spacing button, and then make my adjustments. For example, we want to add a little bit of height to this box and just a little bit of spacing. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to actually add my logo in that we uploaded. So I'm going to show you how this works. So I'm going to delete the text. And then I'm going to go to the images section where I uploaded my logo. And as you can see, here is my logo. And I'm actually going to just drag this in, and I'm actually going to resize it by dragging these bounding boxes. Now, if I want to replace myself, I'm simply going to select the photo that's here. I'm going to go to images, and I should have an image already loaded. There we go. So I'm going to make sure I grab the one that has a transparent background. I'm just going to drag that into that space. It's going to replace the image. And then I can actually scale myself up if I want to. Okay, there we go. Okay, so now how do we go about customizing the colors? So it's very simple. All we have to do is select each object and change the color here in the top corner. So let's make this background dark purple. As you can see, here's the logo that we added, the image. We also added myself to this project. And as we do this, it pulls out the various colors that are in that image. For example, now we want to make the background purple. We're going to leave the text color. Let's change this box. We're going to make that black. And then let's make a couple of more edits. So in this case, I need to make edits to this green triangle and the red one. So what we're going to do is we're going to move myself off screen. Alternatively, you can also go into the layers palette here as well. And you can select that particular image and it will actually turn it off so you don't actually have to move it. Okay, so we're going to turn it off. We're going to then select that color, and then let's change this. So we're going to make this one a light purple. We're going to keep the red, and we're going to make sure this is black. Okay, we've got one image, one overlay finished. So let's make sure we turn back on that image. There's our first video overlay. This is the intro or the pre-roll template. Okay, so let's change the other ones real quick. Okay, in this case, remember I said I'm not going to use the countdown timer, so we're going to just make some minor edits to this one. And then keep going. Okay, so the countdown timer looks really good. As I mentioned, this actually will work within other live streaming software such as Ecamm Live. At the moment, Streamyard does not offer a countdown timer option. Okay, so we're going to make this one for a segment of our show. And as you can see, it's extremely easy to make these edits. You know, I'm doing this all in real time, and it's very, very, very fast. Okay, so this is looking good, just about finished. We're also going to make sure we go and customize this text. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a shortcut to duplicate this particular screen because we have multiple screens for our live video. So in this case, we're going to produce 3 types of live shows. So for example, we're going to talk about ones that are interviews styles. So we may want to increase this font size a little bit. And then we'll make sure we center this. I think that looks good there. Okay, so let's say we have 2 other overlays that we want to create. Now, instead of copying all of these items, we can just simply click the copy button, and that will actually make a second copy of the interview style. Now, all of our branding or colors are already saved. So in this case, we might want to do one on unboxings. And then let's say we have a third one we want to make. So we've done interviews, we've done unboxings, and then let's say this last one is tutorials. So I'm just going to double click on the text to be able to make those edits and make my changes. Okay, so we've just now made our countdown timer. We've got our 3 segments that we're going to have for our show. Now let's keep going. So we have just a handful left. So in this case, this is a lower third, and this one's going to be on the left. And so I'm going to make one for myself. Remember, this whole checkerboard pattern is a transparent background. So we're going to keep the red color here, but we do need to make a couple of edits here. So we want to make this match our brand colors. For example, we're going to go with the purple that's here. We're going to go with a complementary color for the text. And then we also need to make sure we edit these elements as well. So in this case, we're going to change this to, let's go with black. So again, I can either pull them in from my image, or I can go into the color picker and pick the color I want there. Okay, so I think we have that one finished. Now let's go to the next one. So if I have a guest on, I can either duplicate that existing lower third, or I can make another one that would be, for example, on the right-hand side. So in this case, I'm going to make one as well for my co-host. We're going to go through, we're going to make our edits here. As you can see, very, very, very quickly. Simply just click on the item you want to change the color on, for example, then go to the color picker, the color palette, and we're going to make our changes. As you can see, I mean, I saved a lot of time by uploading that image at the beginning. It saved a lot of time versus having to maybe open that image in another tool. You shouldn't have to do that. It's all contained within the Easil platform. Okay, so we've got our left lower third, our right lower third. As you remember, the checkerboard means that it's a transparent background. This means that when I bring up my video feed like myself on screen and then bring up the overlay, it's basically layering these 2 things on top of one another. Okay, so we've got just 2 more images left, and we'll be finished with a professional set of live video overlays. Okay, so as I'm making my edits here, I can go about quickly resizing this and making sure that all of these objects are centered in my overlay. So there's our split screen. As I mentioned, if you have 3 people, we would just duplicate this, make a third box, and we would have that set of overlays as well. Okay, so now we're on to the last one, and we're going to wrap things up here. So as you can see, it is extremely quick to build these overlays. A lot of people, they see professional live streams, and a lot of times I hear from people that they want to know how to do them because it often requires hiring a designer to do them. And the great thing is Easil takes all of the guesswork out of it. You don't have to actually hire a designer. You can actually do it yourself. And by the way, if you do want to change any of these social media icons out here, for example, we've got Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. If you don't have those, you can go over to the graphics section and locate a different image. For example, let's see if there's an Instagram image. So there's an Instagram one. We could bring those in as well if we want to, but for the sake of this tutorial, we're going to stick with the ones we have here. I'm just going to change the colors on this particular YouTube logo. Okay, and then the last thing I'm going to do, we're going to remove that text. We're going to go to our image section. I'm going to bring this in to my project. I'm going to simply scale this down for a little bit of custom branding. In this case, I'm going to actually flip a couple of things around. We're going to make that light purple. We're going to make this red to contrast. There you go. And we've got one more piece to change. Okay, so there you have it. We have our video overlays. Now, as you can see, these are very easy to create, very easy to put together. So once you have them finished, the only thing you need to do is to download them. And there's one important step here at the end. So we've got everything. Obviously, we want to make sure before we export these, we want to make sure we review them for accuracy, make sure there aren't any spelling mistakes, make sure things look symmetrical. For example, I put my logo here. It looks pretty good. We've got the countdown timer. We're going to change this color real quick. We've got our 3 segments. So we've got our interview section, we've got our unboxings and our tutorials. Again, if you don't use these as well, you can also just save them, and that way you'll have them on hand for when you are producing those segments for a live video show in Streamyard. We've made our lower thirds, our left lower third, we've got our right lower third, we've got our split screen, we've got our end screen. So now, once we're finished, all we have to do is go up to the download section and download these items. Now, the key part here is to make sure you download the right type of file. So for example, if you need to download something where you're going to want to layer an object over top, for example, the checkerboard pattern means that it's going to be transparent. If I export this as a JPEG, it will turn that background white and the transparent feature will not work. So what I need to make sure I do here when I download my images within Easil is to click the PNG option. And I'm simply just going to go scroll down. And in this case, I want all of the different overlays that I've made for Streamyard. So we're going to hit done and we're going to hit download. So now that we have our professional live video overlays that we created within Easil, I want to show you how you use them within Streamyard. So the first thing you want to do is obviously download them from Easil and save them to your desktop. Now that you have them, you simply navigate to the brand section within Streamyard and then go to the overlays area. And here you can upload your overlays. And what I like to do, by the way, is I like to name each of the files. For example, if it's the intro, I will name it the intro. I will add the countdown timer if there are 3 topics. And then if I have lower thirds, a split screen, an end screen, or a 3-person screen, I like to name this as I'm uploading them. The reason I do this is so that they are easy for me to spot during my live video broadcast. So now this is what it currently looks like in Streamyard without any of these beautiful professional high quality overlays. So now if I want to increase the production value of my show, here's what it's going to look like. So if we have the intro, for example, I can simply click on that and that will overtake the entire screen. Now, the great thing about the intro is that you can also use it when you are scheduling a Facebook Live or a YouTube Live video. So the intro can actually act as the placeholder for when your broadcast is scheduled out. For example, if it's scheduled out a week ahead of time, that might be some text I want to incorporate onto the intro slide. However, for the sake of this tutorial, we have our intro screen. Now, if we have topics that we want to bring up during our broadcast, we can simply just click on those topics to quickly bring them up. And I can actually talk during the broadcast while these are up. And then if I want to bring up the lower third, for example, I'm here. Here we go. We have the lower third. In this case, this is my custom lower third for myself. And then if I happen to have 2 people on screen, I would simply switch to the 2-person layout, bring up the split screen. In this case, it's just me on screen, but it would bring up both feeds directly into the left and the right screens of your broadcast. And then when I'm ready to wrap things up, I just bring up the end screen. And there you go. And the reason I use this end screen, by the way, is because if I am trying to end the broadcast, sometimes the internet can be slow to stop the broadcast. And so by having the end screen, it allows me to put the screen up. I don't have to look funny on camera, and I can end the broadcast. And it looks much more professional than somebody having a conversation. Maybe they're going to close their webcam and so forth. But as you can see, that is how to create professional, high quality live video overlays utilizing Easil. I hope you've enjoyed this DIY design tutorial from Easil on how to create professional live video brand overlays for Streamyard. Now, if you have any additional questions, be sure to check out the article that we've included in the description of this video. In addition to that article on different types of brand overlays, we've also included a number of free templates as well. Now, if you want to be notified in the future when we publish new DIY design tutorials, be sure you click the subscribe button and the notification bell. Thanks a lot for watching.